December, often described as a season of joy and reflection, can also bring a sense of emotional weight. The world around us sparkles with festive lights, yet many wrestle with feelings of loneliness, loss, and the pressures of unmet expectations. As 2024 draws to a close, we find ourselves in a unique time of reflection, questioning the paths we've taken and yearning for peace amid chaos. For those navigating existential crises, Psalm 23 offers a timeless sanctuary. Written thousands of years ago, its words resonate deeply with every soul seeking comfort, guidance, and restoration. This psalm invites us to imagine God as a shepherd, a guide, provider, and protector who walks with us even in the darkest valleys. In this video, we will explore the powerful themes of Psalm 23 and discover how its verses provide practical steps to face our struggles and find a deeper sense of peace. From the assurance of divine guidance to the promise of renewal and abundance, this psalm offers a path toward overcoming life's crises with faith and hope. Together, let's embark on this journey through its words, unpacking their relevance to our lives, especially during this reflective season. Psalm 23, one of the most beloved passages in the Bible, was penned by King David, a figure deeply familiar with both triumph and adversity. Known as a shepherd in his youth and a warrior king in his later years, David's life encapsulates the tensions between vulnerability and divine strength. His psalm reflects a personal understanding of God's presence as both protector and provider, making it timeless in its appeal. Historically, Psalm 23 emerged during an era when shepherding was not merely a livelihood, but a way of life that symbolized care, guidance, and provision. For David to liken God to a shepherd was both profound and relatable to his audience. It evoked imagery of a caregiver who tends to every need of the flock, even in the harshest conditions. This metaphor continues to resonate, offering a universal picture of comfort and security. Over centuries, Psalm 23 has been recited in moments of fear, despair, and uncertainty. It has soothed the hearts of countless individuals, from those facing personal struggles to entire communities enduring collective hardship. Whether whispered at hospital bedsides, quoted in times of war, or recited during personal prayer, its themes transcend culture and era. In today's world, Psalm 23 speaks to challenges that feel eerily similar to David's time: a longing for peace, a need for guidance, and the reassurance of divine presence in a turbulent world. Its timeless truths remind us that crises, though daunting, are not insurmountable when faced with faith and hope. As we delve deeper into this psalm, let us keep this historical and spiritual context in mind. David's words are not distant. They are as close to us as our own fears and desires for peace. In exploring its verses, we'll uncover practical applications to navigate our modern struggles. "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." These opening words of Psalm 23 hold a world of meaning. With this statement, David declares a profound trust in God as his ultimate guide and provider. To call God a shepherd is to acknowledge his active care, presence, and leadership in our lives, a powerful reassurance in moments of uncertainty and fear. David's declaration, "I shall not want," goes beyond physical needs. It signifies a deep-seated assurance that, with God as our shepherd, we lack nothing essential for our journey. This trust invites us to shift our focus from scarcity to sufficiency, from worry to faith. It's a call to let go of the relentless striving that characterizes much of modern life and rest in the knowledge that we are cared for. In today's context, this verse challenges us to reflect on the things we perceive as missing in our lives. Is it security, purpose, or peace? December often amplifies these feelings, as the year's end magnifies unmet goals and unresolved tensions. Yet, David's words remind us that true fulfillment doesn't come from external achievements, but from an internal relationship with God. Practically, trusting God as our shepherd means surrendering our fears and acknowledging his control over the unknowns. It's a daily decision to choose faith over anxiety. Much like a sheep trusts the shepherd to lead it to green pastures and protect it from harm. To deepen this trust, consider starting each day with a simple prayer. Lord, you are my shepherd. Help me to trust you with my needs and guide me in your path. This prayer, though short, can ground you in the peace that comes from knowing you are not navigating life alone. As we move through the rest of Psalm 23, this foundational trust will set the tone for understanding God's presence and provision in every aspect of our lives. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. These words paint a vivid picture of peace and renewal, offering a counterpoint to the chaos that often defines modern life, especially during December. Amid the busyness of closing the year and the emotional weight of the season, this verse serves as an invitation to pause, rest, and reconnect with our souls. David's imagery of green pastures and still waters is not incidental. Shepherds would carefully guide their sheep to places of safety and sustenance, away from barren fields or turbulent streams. In the same way, God desires to lead us to spaces where our hearts and minds can find restoration. But like sheep, we must choose to follow. Rest is not merely a luxury. It is a spiritual necessity. In a world that glorifies productivity, taking time to rest and reflect can feel counterintuitive, even irresponsible. Yet Psalm 23 reminds us that God actively makes us lie down, signaling that rest is part of His divine plan for our renewal. This verse also emphasizes stillness. The still waters represent moments where our souls can breathe, unburdened by the noise of daily life. For many, December feels anything but still, with its whirlwind of activities and obligations. Yet, God's leading offers us an alternative path, one of intentional quiet, where we can hear His voice and feel His presence. To apply this in a practical way, consider setting aside time each day for a moment of stillness. Whether it's sitting quietly by a window, journaling, or engaging in a short meditation, allow yourself to step away from the demands of life. A simple meditation might include repeating the words of this verse while focusing on your breathing, inviting God to lead you into His peace. In these moments, we allow God to restore us emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. Like a shepherd tending to his flock, He knows our limits and provides what we need to continue our journey. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. This verse is perhaps one of the most profound in Psalm 23. It confronts the harsh reality of life's darkest moments, yet offers a beacon of hope, God's unwavering presence. The valley of the shadow of death symbolizes times of deep fear, uncertainty, and grief. For many, December can feel like such a valley. Memories of lost loved ones, feelings of loneliness, or anxieties about the future often cast long shadows during this season. David's words remind us, however, that even in the darkest valleys, we are not abandoned. The promise here is not an avoidance of the valley, but renewal within it. God does not remove us from life struggles, but He walks with us through them. His presence is the source of our courage, enabling us to face what we fear without succumbing to it. The rod and staff represent His tools of guidance and protection, assuring us that we are under His care. In practical terms, this verse encourages us to recognize God's presence in our hardest moments. When fear arises, it's an opportunity to draw closer to Him rather than retreat into despair. One way to do this is through prayer. Simply voicing your fears and asking for His guidance can bring comfort. Stories of renewal in the valley abound, and one such story illustrates this beautifully. A young woman, grieving the loss of her father during the holidays, found herself overwhelmed with sadness. One evening, as she prayed, she felt an unexplainable sense of peace, a quiet assurance that her father's memory would always live on in her heart and that God was holding her through her pain. That moment became a turning point, not erasing her grief, but transforming it into gratitude for the love she had experienced. God's presence doesn't eliminate our struggles, but it transforms how we endure them. The valley, though shadowed, becomes a place of renewal as we trust in His guidance. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. This verse moves us from the valley to a place of provision, abundance, and blessing. It's a reminder that even in the face of challenges and opposition, God's care for us is extravagant and unshakable. The imagery of a table prepared in the presence of enemies speaks to a profound spiritual truth. God's blessings are not contingent on the absence of difficulty. Instead, He provides for us even amid adversity. This picture of a banquet, a symbol of abundance, celebration, and favor, is an affirmation of God's ability to nourish and sustain us in any circumstance. To anoint my head with oil recalls ancient customs where anointing signified honor, healing, and consecration. God not only meets our needs, but elevates us, marking us with His love and care. This act is deeply personal, reminding us that His blessings are uniquely tailored to our lives. The overflowing cup is a powerful symbol of abundance, one that goes beyond mere survival. It speaks to a life filled with joy, gratitude, and purpose, even in times of scarcity. For many, December can feel like a season of lack, whether it's a lack of time, finances, or emotional connection. Yet this verse challenges us to shift our perspective and see the ways God's blessings continue to flow, even in small, unexpected ways. A practical response to this verse is cultivating a spirit of gratitude. One way to do this is by keeping a gratitude journal during the month of December. Each day, write down one way in which you see God's provision, no matter how small. This practice not only shifts your focus to abundance, but also deepens your awareness of His presence in your life. When we embrace the overflowing nature of God's blessings, we begin to see His abundance even in seasons that feel barren. The table He prepares for us is not just about sustenance. It is an invitation to trust in His generosity and celebrate His goodness, no matter the circumstances. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. These words serve as a promise, a declaration of God's enduring presence and unwavering love. As David reflects on his journey with God, he expresses confidence that God's goodness and mercy are not fleeting, but will accompany him throughout his life. Goodness and mercy are two facets of God's character that bring hope to our lives. Goodness reflects His provision, care, and the blessings He bestows on us daily. Mercy, on the other hand, reminds us of His compassion, forgiveness, and readiness to restore us even when we fall short. Together, they create a picture of a God who actively pursues us with His love. The phrase, "shall follow me," is worth noting. In the original Hebrew, the word often translated as follow carries the sense of pursuing or chasing. This suggests that God's goodness and mercy are not passive, but actively seeking us out. Even when we feel unworthy or distant from Him, His love is relentless. In the context of December, this verse provides a powerful antidote to despair. As the year ends, we might be tempted to dwell on failures, missed opportunities, or unresolved conflicts. But David's confidence in God's promises invites us to focus instead on the blessings and mercies that have accompanied us, even in difficult times. It's a call to look back not with regret, but with gratitude for God's faithfulness. A practical application of this verse is creating a blessings journal. Dedicate a few pages to listing ways in which you've experienced God's goodness and mercy throughout the past year. Include moments of answered prayers, unexpected kindness, or times when you felt His presence in your life. This practice not only fosters gratitude, but also reinforces the reality of His active care. As we embrace this promise, we are reminded that God's love does not fade with the passing of seasons. His goodness and mercy are constants, grounding us in hope and giving us the courage to face whatever the future holds. As we come to the end of our journey through Psalm 23, we find ourselves equipped with a roadmap for navigating life's challenges and finding peace. Each verse offers timeless truths that not only comfort, but also empower us to face the complexities of life, particularly during a season as reflective and emotional as December. This psalm begins with trust in God's care and leads us through paths of renewal, protection, and abundance. It ends with the assurance of His goodness and mercy, creating a full circle of hope and security. These teachings remind us that no matter where we are, whether in green pastures or shadowed valleys, we are never alone. As we reflect on the lessons of Psalm 23, it's important to act on them. Begin by revisiting the verse that resonates most with your current situation. Is it the call to rest in green pastures? The courage to walk through the valley without fear? Or perhaps the promise of God's goodness and mercy pursuing you? Let this verse anchor you in the days ahead. This December, as the world around us moves at a frenetic pace, take time to pause and apply these lessons. Trust in God as your shepherd. Allow Him to lead you to still waters, and embrace the abundance He has prepared for you. Make room for reflection, prayer, and practices that help you experience His presence daily. Remember, the path of Psalm 23 is not just about overcoming crises, but also about living a life marked by peace, gratitude, and hope. As you embrace its teachings, you can transform December into a time of spiritual renewal, a season not defined by stress or sorrow, but by the profound peace that comes from walking closely with God. As we conclude this journey together, I invite you to share how Psalm 23 has impacted your perspective this December. What part of its message resonates most with you? How do you plan to carry its lessons into the new year? Let us know in the comments or through a personal reflection. Together, we can encourage one another to live in the light of these truths. May this psalm continue to guide and inspire you, not just in December, but in every season of life. God's peace and blessings be with you. If this message has inspired or encouraged you, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you'll help us reach more people seeking hope and guidance, and you'll stay connected with uplifting content like this. Together, let's share the light and make a difference.